Welcome to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast, your weekly news roundup of hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories from around the Gem State. Hosted by Fish and Game's Public Information Specialist, Connor J. Lease.
And welcome back, everyone, to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin podcast. It's been kind of a slow week for hunting, fishing, trapping, and conservation stories here in Idaho. This week on the Hook and Bulletin, we'll be talking about a new state record tiger trout, bats in Boise, and the third installment of the Clearwater Region's white-tailed deer blog. But first, we're heading up to Lake Pend Oreille to fish for some walleye. According to our folks up in the Panhandle region, Lake Pend Oreille walleye are providing steady action for anglers this summer. Walleye are set up in their typical summer locations, and anglers in those parts have been reporting consistent catch rates. Since walleye telemetry began in 2019, biologists have observed a similar distribution of acoustic-tagged fish during the month of June. Walleye locations displayed on the map in this online story are from June 1st through June 28th. Each colored circle represents the number of unique acoustic-tagged walleye detected at a receiver between those dates. Walleye are widespread throughout the north end of Lake Pend Oreille and both the Clark Fork and Pend Oreille rivers. The Highway 95 Long Bridge and Railroad Bridge areas near Sandpoint continue to be walleye fishing hotspots, where the greatest number of acoustic tags were detected. Here's a hot tip. Some anglers have been reporting success with vertical presentations such as jig crawler or jig plastic combos, swim baits, and blade baits. Using light baits and fishing them slowly can be super effective this time of year. Make sure to check the edges of weed beds and locations where baits can be worked over the top or through these beds, which can be important as walleye roam edge habitats looking for prey. Trolling crawler harnesses or deep diving crankbaits along the edge of weed beds is also effective at times of day when boat traffic is not as high. So, what's the point of tagging all these fish? Well, biologists track acoustic-tagged walleye to learn more about walleye movements and to help anglers effectively target walleye and participate in the Lake Pend Oreille Angler Incentive Program. Idaho Fish and Game biologists tag walleye annually to keep about 100 fish with $1,000 reward tags swimming in the waters of the Lake Pend Oreille system. So far this year, anglers have earned over $5,000 by turning in walleye tagged with $1,000 reward tags. The reward tags are in all sizes of fish, so any walleye caught could be the next big winner. To learn more about walleye rewards and to try your hand at becoming a walleye winner, check out the Lake Pend Oreille Angler Incentive Program on the Fish and Game website. I'll make sure to include a link in the description. If you're interested in learning more about fishing in Lake Pend Oreille in general, the Angler Incentive Program, or general information about walleye, check out the Lake Pend Oreille Fisheries webpage and go rewatch the 2024 State of the Lake meeting to learn more about the world-class fisheries in Lake Pend Oreille. From $1,000 walleye to state record tiger trout. Next up, we're heading down to Montpelier Reservoir for this next one. Hey, if you're out there, Austin Christensen, a big congratulations to you, partner, on setting the latest Idaho state record fish for certified weight. Christensen, a Montpelier resident, was fishing the reservoir sharing its namesake back on June 1st when he hooked and landed a 27.25-inch tiger trout. As soon as the toad got hoisted out of the water, Christensen thought he just might have a chance at a record fish. The fish weighed 9.13 pounds on a certified scale, beating the previous record by over 3/4 of a pound. The previous state record tiger trout of 8.3 pounds set by Tyson Lutz, another angler who also happens to hail from Montpelier, had only been caught weeks before on May 17th from the same lake. Tiger trout are a hybrid cross between brook trout and brown trout. They were introduced to Montpelier Reservoir back in 2016 and can be found in a few select places across Idaho. You can find stocking information using the Idaho Fish Planner, so hit the link in the description if you want to learn more about state record fish. With that, it's time for the Rapid Fire Bulletin. The third installment of the Clearwater Region's white-tailed deer blog is out now. That's the honest-to-God tooth. Last fall, Fish and Game asked hunters pursuing white-tailed deer in Clearwater Units 8A and 10A to provide a tooth from their harvest as part of an ongoing effort to learn more about the age structure of deer in northern Idaho. The goal is to better understand white-tailed deer ages within popular hunting units. Results from the lab allow biologists to evaluate the age structure of harvested white-tailed deer, and the first year of tooth collection is wrapped up, so teeth have been analyzed and results are on their way to hunters, so keep an eye on your mailbox. Out of the region's 605 white-tailed deer teeth aged at the lab, the oldest deer submitted in the Clearwater was a 15-and-a-half-year-old doe harvested in 10A. As for bucks, there was an 8-way tie at 9.5 years of age for the oldest. 3 bucks harvested in 8A and 5 harvested in 10A each reached this benchmark. Head on over to our website and check out Jen Brunn's and Kenny Randall's latest blog if you want to learn more. Have a bloodlust for all things bats? Well, if you're in the Boise area on July 11th, y'all are in luck. The MK Nature Center, located right next door to Fish and Game's headquarters building, will be hosting a program all about Idaho's bats on July 11th at 8:30 p.m. Idaho's top bat biologist will be in the house for an informative and exciting nocturnal program about bats, meaning it happens at night. Come learn about Idaho's mammalian aeronauts, then head out to the pond to use current bat detecting technology to learn what species actively hunt at the Nature Center. This program is designed for older children and adults and is free and open to the public. All right, that's it for this week's stories. It's time for our question of the week. This next question comes to us from Brandon S. Brandon asks, I would like to know the logic for the 5-day waiting period as it applies to elk-controlled hunts because I chose to pay $6.50 more for a controlled hunt application. Thanks for posing that question, Brandon. The reasoning behind the 5-day waiting period for elk-controlled hunt applications was designed to reduce the initial demand for first-come, first-served cap zone elk tags when they go on sale. Sales history shows that many elk hunters who bought capped elk zone tags had previously applied for controlled hunts. For more information on applying for elk controlled hunts, hit the link in the description. That's all the news we have for this week. Thanks for putting an ear to Idaho Fish and Game's Hook and Bulletin. If there's something on your mind or if you got a question related to fish and game matters, feel free to drop us a line at podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Again, that's podcast@idfg.idaho.gov. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll catch you next week.